Hello everyone, it is the morning, but it's not at all. It's actually quite late at night. I've lost my touch, what can I say? Today marks the day of the first official weekly vlog instead of dailies. I loved doing dailies, but with work coming back and just general life stuff going on, dailies is not feasible in any capacity, but weeklies are. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to just be vlogging everything I do throughout the week, and then I'm going to be compiling it all together into like a, just highlight reel basically, and that'll be going up between, like on the weekends sometimes, so Saturday or Sunday. Today's one is exciting though, because very last minute, I decided that I would actually go see Deadpool and Wolverine in cinemas. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have massively dropped off from like superhero culture and movies and stuff like that. I haven't seen a superhero movie in cinemas since No Way Home. Oh no, sorry, I lied. I saw The Flash in cinemas. Yeah. But Tom was excited to go. He really likes all that stuff. And obviously I do still like that stuff. I don't want to make it seem like I don't. That sounded bad. But I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go. Tom and I have seen both the previous Deadpool movies together in cinemas, and I managed to get a ticket to this one. Not the same cinema, obviously, because we live across the country, but at the same time. So we're going to be seeing it at the same time, so we're going to be together in spirit, which, makes me happy because it kept the tradition alive a little bit, at least. So, and because of all this, we have a bit of a surprise. We got a guest on the channel. I wonder who it is. It's Tom. It's always going to be Tom. No one else is ever going to guest on this channel.
Alright, first attempt at making kaiju burgers. Be able to see Deadpool 3 shortly. Thanks to Geordie's recipe there for these burgers. First attempt, bloody kaiju tower. What is that?
Bloody excited, bloody windy at the moment too. I'm walking to the wind. I'm bloody, which way is the wind going? What's happening? I'm looking forward to hopefully just seeing as many X-Men cameos, or well inserted cameos that add to the story, that they're in their comic book accurate outfits. That's sort of what I'm hoping. I don't really know many story beats that I'm predicting. I'm curious if they're going to like revisit any of the movies when they go through the portal with the time stone and that, like going into Endgame or anything like that. That'd be pretty insane. And yeah, I just want it to be a great movie. So let's go in.
There we are. These are the movies featured on the front at the moment. So I've got Joker, I'm excited for that one. Wild Robot, excited for that one. Transformers, excited for that one. Deadpool, better watch that one. Bloody classic.
Anyway, thanks Tom. Let's talk about my predictions for the movie. So, my predictions for the movie. We got Lady Deadpool X23. They were predictions, but they got confirmed in the bloody trailer. I hope Channing Tatum as Gambit shows up. Gambit's my favorite X-Men. I think there'll be some sort of tie-in with either X-Men 97 or the upcoming X-Men for the MCU. I think it's going to lead into that. I think Wolverine is going to be sent off permanently. I know in Logan they said it was permanent. Look how that turned out. But that, I think it will be permanent this time because, quite frankly, I don't want Hugh Jackman to be Wolverine in the MCU X-Men. Not that I really care because I don't follow it much anymore, but just for my own peace of mind. Those are my main predictions. I have a feeling it's going to really follow the Deadpool kills Deadpool storyline in terms of like the premise of it. I know the villain's different and they're going through dimensions with the sling ring that got leaked and all that sort of stuff, but I think it's going to loosely follow the Deadpool kills Deadpool storyline. Which, fun fact, I actually have the first 2 issues of in my collection. I read this as it was coming out. I really liked it at the time. I think the artwork's very cool. But, I've fallen off from that, unfortunately. Still cool that I have them, and I'm not going to get rid of them. This is my bloody prized collection, which actually isn't maintained as much as it probably should be. Got some cool stuff in here, actually. Got a Transformers one, lovely. Teen Titans, bloody, I've been looking for that, actually. Sweet. The Jackie Chan Adventures with some Monster Energy stickers on it. You can just... This has some bloody history in it, you can tell. And then another one, bloody Horrible Science. Bruh. But anyway, I'm going to be meeting Pia I need to go to the train station, get on her train, then we're going to the city, going out for dinner. I won't vlog any of that. This vlog will be specifically Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. So I'm going to go do that now. And I will see you guys either just before the movie or just after. Oh, also, this is a massive spoiler warning because what I'm discussing next, I will be talking about the movie. I'm not gonna do one of those spoiler-free reviews or anything. I'm just gonna be talking about the movie. So, spoiler warning. Here it is.
Okay, so there's one certain cameo or character in that. Geordie is going to be absolutely ecstatic. And I know that we're probably going to play Fortnite later tonight. And he's going to be wearing that skin. I honestly loved it. I think Geordie's going to be very happy with it. I'm obviously going to have to sit on it for a bit, process it. Probably get a couple reviews for perspective and hear Geordie's thoughts and all that. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. As for where it like ranks amongst other stuff, a little bit unsure currently. It wasn't a perfect film. Jesus Christ. I thought it was really funny. Not every single joke landed, but that's each of the Deadpool films for me. But a very solid trilogy, I would say. Again, over the last couple of weeks, I watched all of the mainline X-Men films, then the Wolverine films, then Deadpool 1 and 2 over the last couple of days. Great send-off to the Fox universe, I would say. And very touching end, even during the credits. Let's fucking go. Right, back to you, George.
Back from the movies. It's actually the next day, or the next night, I should say. I just wanted to sleep on it for a bit, kind of gather my thoughts, and really figure out where I stood on the movie. Because firstly, I want to say, I really, really enjoyed it. I had a great time. The cameo that Tom was talking about, and again, this is complete spoilers. I'm not going to hold back. I'm just going to talk about what I want to talk about. The Gambit cameo, that had me dying, dude. You have no... I don't have the words. Honestly, I really, really don't. I've been waiting for that since I was a kid. I had a VHS of X-Men the Animated Series, and like when I was like 5 or 6, it was like at the start of primary school, and like I saw there was an episode that was like kind of centered around Gambit, and I was like, dude, he is so cool. And like I followed Gambit, I read some comics, obviously the X-Men Origins, I was excited because he was in that, and then, you know, this is a bit cringy, I bloody learned how to throw cards and got into like close-up magic and stuff because I was just like, they're so cool, I just want to be like him. And so seeing that made me so unbelievably happy, especially because of the history of the Gambit movie, how Channing Tatum was meant to be it in Last Stand, then got written out, then was meant to be it in X-Men Origins, couldn't do it because of scheduling conflicts, and then was meant to get his own movie, then switched directors 5 times, all this sort of stuff. And it was just cool finally seeing him do it, because I had so much faith that he could pull it off. I feel like for a while, Channing Tatum was kind of seen as a joke because of some of the roles he had taken on, which is, you know, in a way it's understandable. Like, public perception is kind of everything in that industry. But, you know, I had faith that he could pull it off. Like, that was so unbelievably cool, and I'm so glad they treated him seriously rather than, because there was a few cameos where I was like, they show up, it's cool, and then they die like 2 seconds later, or they're a complete joke. To be honest, the Johnny Storm, Human Torch cameo, that was very cool, but it was very much treated as a joke. It wasn't treated seriously at all. So I'm glad that wasn't the case for Gambit, because it meant too much to me, and I'm glad they bloody pulled through. And it was cool seeing all the other people show up. And again, this was a movie... I'm pretty sure I said this yesterday. This is a movie where I'm not expecting it to be a bloody masterpiece. I was expecting a fun time, cool cameos, and a good send-off to the Fox universe, and it met all 3 of those. You know, really met my expectations. Also, the massive, like, horde of Deadpools that come in at the end, that felt really kind of forced in, just to force in, like, Lady Deadpool, Headpool, Kidpool, Dogpool, all that sort of stuff. It really, you know, it felt like they forced that in specifically for those cameos, and... it worked with the Fox Universe characters, and I don't think it worked as much for the Deadpool characters because There's no history with the Deadpool characters. They're just putting those cameos in there as references to the comics, which again is cool. I don't think it warranted the whole sequence where they all show up and then they all fight and then regenerate anyway and all that sort of stuff. I don't think that was super necessary, and that did take me out a little bit, but overall the movie was really, really good. I had a great time. But anyway, it's a bloody superhero movie. How deep can you get? I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed what was there, and Gambit absolutely bloody elevated it for me. That was just like, it was really just like a childhood dream, and I finally got to see that, and it made me very happy. If that wasn't in there, I genuinely don't think I would have enjoyed it as much, just because, like I said earlier in the video, I'm kind of out of that whole, sphere of things. I'm not super into superhero stuff anymore. But seeing Gambit, it just brought back all those emotions and just instantly it elevated it for me so much, dude. That being said, one of the biggest cons for the general public, I feel, is how much knowledge you need to have to understand everything. You have to know about the Fox universe, all the behind the scenes rights issues, because they make many jokes about that. You need to know even things like Gambit. That cameo makes zero sense if you don't already know the history of the Channing Tatum casting and movie and all that sort of stuff. Because even some of the lines he says where he's like, I think I was born here and all this sort of stuff, that is specifically referencing the fact that, Blade and Elektra, they're all about wanting to get their endings because they never got them because all their stuff was cancelled. Whereas Gambit never even got a beginning. So, even that in itself is a reference to real world events. So anyone who doesn't really have that knowledge is going to be lost and they're not going to enjoy it. It's as simple as that. I see a lot of people, if someone's like, oh, was I the only one that didn't really like that movie? People are like, yeah, you are. And it's like, no, realistically, this movie is not enjoyable for people that don't really understand it, If someone has just started watching the MCU, for example, even from phase 3, they're not going to get it. They're not going to get half the stuff in it. And, that's fine. Not every movie has to cater to every single audience member. That's kind of part of the problem with superhero movies nowadays, is they over-explain everything. They try and cater to every possible person rather than just having targeted focus groups and really nailing that vibe. And, so it's good that they did that, but it's definitely going to hinder the general public's idea of the movie because they're just going to be like, I don't understand. You can look at that as either a positive or a negative. I view it as a bit of both because, yeah, it's kind of like it's a celebration not only of the properties and, the decades of those movies, but it's also a celebration of the people who went to see them and the people that grew up on them and the people that were super invested in these characters. So that's a good thing. Obviously, that's objectively a good thing. They're paying respect to not only their own work, but the people that supported them. It's also a negative because it makes the film so much less accessible. So, it's good and bad. But either way, great movie overall. Had a great time. Went and saw it with my wife. She loved it. So that's about it. I don't want to go too deep into it. I'm not a movie review channel, so I don't want to bloody bog it down with all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, I had a bloody good time. And to prove that I had a good time, I'm going to end this off embracing my bloody roots. When will I see ya? I'll see you in a couple days. Sweet.